All right, little different video today, just a sit down, posing a question I think a lot of people have. Is it time to give up on Carlos Beltran and the Live Series collections? Leave a like, subscribe, yada yada, let's talk about it. So, Live Series collections, every year of MLB The Show is kind of the what to do. That is, I guess, the end goal. It's how you say you beat the game if you get Live Series done. And this year it offers some incredible cards, probably the best live collections we've ever seen, between the top card, Carlos Beltran, 5-tool magician. He is ridiculously good, so great. You've got Gil Hodges, who's also very good, and Roger Clemens. As I've said before, Roger Clemens is the best pitcher in MLB The Show history, especially when you factor in the details we'll be talking about. He is truly the most pay-to-win card that you could have ever asked for within an MLB The Show game. He is as close as you can possibly get to a free win when you start this card. It is absurd. And a big reason for that is we were getting such low overall cards at the launch of this game. I mean, we began really at 87s, and that is tremendously lower than any other year within MLB. I mean, rank season rewards, which is always guaranteed to start 90 plus, this time around were 88s, and really not that good of 88s. Like, quickly got surpassed because the cards were just not up to snuff. And you do a little digging compared to other years. MLB The Show 22, the first featured program, offered 90s that you were able to get. The World Series cards were already 91s. MLB The Show 21, Team Affinity 1, did only offer 88 overalls, which is similar to this year, but again, the World Series was far higher, as there was 92 overall options to choose from at the very beginning of the game. And it's clear, this year, MLB 25 has definitely rewritten some of the rules that we previously thought of. Rank seasons rewards were supposed to be the top end, same as, like the inning bosses and whatnot. Obviously, the balance between that content and pack content has been completely thrown for a loop and really inverted from what it was in MLB 22, or especially MLB 21. All that to say, Live Series is as important as ever. I mean, even now where we are, of course, we just got the Ted Williams collection. We're really getting 94s. World Series cards are up to 95s. But those cards, the Beltran, the Clemens, the Hodges, are very clearly the best cards that you are going to get, minus other Legend and Flashback collection cards, until August, late August, maybe September. It is really difficult to say. They are incredibly good and so valuable for many reasons. Obviously, the gatekeeper here is Live Series. You need these cards enabled to get them. And what's so funny, I didn't even know this before I was planning on doing this video, they've now supercharged Shohei Ohtani. Live Series Shohei, he's making his debut this year on the mound. His first time pitching in almost 2 years after tearing his UCL. And he's been supercharged for that, as well as his 250th career home run. So he is now even better, which of course increases his value. He is up to 715,000 stubs. That is by far the most expensive Live Series, not even particularly close. I think the past 2 years, like MLB 23, I bet that was the entire Live Series collection. And this is one card. Not even to mention, of course, the Aaron Judge, who's over 500K. Jose Ramirez and Bobby Witt Jr. are well over 250,000 stubs themselves. And you've got even more. Tarek is 50K. Ketel Marte is 130. Tatis is 150. Lindor is 100. Paul Skeens is over 40K. Trout, he's gone down quite a bit. He's still 65,000. I mean, most of the non-really exciting players and the higher diamonds are kind of down at this rate to quick sell value, but those outliers really makes the difference. And why is that? If you remember, at the beginning part of the year, Shohei Ohtani, I think, went for about 300K. Aaron Judge was under 200. You compare that to their prices now, I mean, they're well over doubled compared to they were the first night and even a couple weeks into MLB The Show 25. Well, I think the answer is pretty plain and simple. There is just so many stubs to be had in MLB 25 by simply playing the game, and this has never been the case, not nearly to this extent. Diamond Quest, brand new mode they introduced this year. You play a board game, you get to stadium challenges where you can possibly earn rewards that go for a lot of stubs on the market. I mean, right here, the most recent one, Sonny Gray, Ryan Ludwig. These cards are going for a little north of 20,000 stubs apiece. You get the most stubs out of it. Breakout, which was one of the worst all year, now is one of the best between this Shane McClanahan and his map alongside Anthony Rizzo or Bryson Stott. The very first map that was in the game, this card goes for 23K, and obviously it switches based on what you need. You know, Breakout's popular right now because they released a new collection and people are scrambling to get those cards. So you can get tons of stubs just by playing Diamond Quest, a mode that never existed before, and you're farming repeatable guaranteed stubs if you win these stadium challenges. And, you know, granted, they are percentage drop rates. Typically, if you play a couple of challenges along the way to the stadium challenge and just rush it right there, you're going to have about a 90-ish% chance of getting the epic reward, which is the ones we're talking about here. And it might take you, a good player, someone who's doing this repeatedly, it might take him 25 minutes to be able to do this. That is a guaranteed 20,000 stubs every 25 minutes, and that's not including anything extra, the other packs that are coming along the way. That is crazy. That is ridiculous payouts. Being able to farm stubs in that fashion is something, again, that we just have not seen. It is unprecedented within MLB The Show. Another one, Weekend Classic, another brand new mode that they put out this year. Sure, at the bottom end, the reward scale does not offer too many outstanding rewards. Definitely better than what you would get normally by playing ranked seasons. But if you look at the very top of the scale, the Immortal tier, or even the Diamond, the higher gold tiers, there's excellent packs and some really good guaranteed stub rewards there as well. We've just never had this kind of reward system within MLB The Show. And what that does, economist, it inflates the market, obviously. So couple that with the power creep starting so low this year and those cards being so good, the Clemens, Hodges, and Beltran, that is why you end up with this. That is why you have a 700,000 stub Shohei Ohtani. The people who are very good at the game, who can repeatably get stadium challenges completed, farm those elite rewards or the epic rewards from Diamond Quest, and who are getting the good rewards from Weekend Classic, that floods the market. It gives them so much buying power. So just like you see in real life, I mean, the people at the top, it is very easy for them. There's a reason why this year I could absolutely get why you'd say, oh, this is the easiest, the quickest path I've ever had to Live Series collections. But on the flip side, it might be the hardest by far. Both things can be true. You are far more rewarded this year than any other year in the past, as long as you've got the time and or skill to do so. And so that's really the situation. And you're met with the question of how much is it worth it to you to do this? Because it is so many stubs required just to get these handful of cards. Because at this point, besides Darren O'Day, I would include him as very, very good. He's still one of the best, if not the very best relievers in the game. But Chase Headley and Ted Simmons, Jordan Zimmerman, Don Baylor, Jason Kipnis. I mean, those cards are all pushed out. They're still fine if you wanted to use them, if you really enjoy them, but there's equal to better out at this present rate. So you're really left with about 4 cards that you're really going to get tons of use from. There's a couple surviving live series. If you love the swing, if you've got some parallels, if they get a favorable inside edge, they could play up to where you prefer them over something else. But where we're getting on the power curve, they're gone soon too. And yet prices are not moving, at least not in the direction you'd want them to. They're going up, if anything. Like we talked about with Shohei Ohtani, who, if you look at the marketplace trends, I mean, he was down for a little bit, but now he's back up. So the question is, how much is it worth it to you to get those 4 cards that are very good, still going to put you at the best possible position to win right now? How much is that worth it to you? I'm going to be honest, as someone who's had those cards all year, I love them. But is it worth holding yourself captive? Spending every waking moment on the game, grinding, trying to get the stubs, and holding yourself back from ultimately what you would want? I don't think so. I gotta just be honest. And again, I've had these cards for some time. I'm fortunate enough to where I make content off this game. I can play a little bit more often, and I was able to get them done through some savvy investments, a couple good pulls along the way. Obviously, I was able to pull Ohtani after the fact, and that's why we have the stubs that we do now. But I can say for myself, for a good bit of the year, while I was grinding to get Ohtani, because I think ultimately I wound up paying maybe $550. It could have been $600. I honestly don't really remember. It was a lot for one card, I'll tell you that. And I didn't really enjoy the feeling of, okay, well, they're releasing new content. And as you guys know, most of that fun content tends to be right here. You can find it. Every Friday, they're going to put the most interesting and compelling cards right in the pack market, or they're going to be obtainable somehow on the marketplace. It was not worth it to me to restrict myself and hold it back, just because ultimately I was grinding for those couple of cards. Fact is, eventually they're going to have to come down. They will not be, Ohtani will not sell for $700K in August, in September. I just don't think that's the case. There's going to be a shift eventually when there's just too good of cards out there. I still think it'll be higher than you would reasonably like it to be. And again, that's the cause of inflation, which is no doubt propelled and hammed up by SDS. It's no secret they love the prices being this high. They would not change the stub cap for a Shohei Ohtani from 500 like was the cap on Live Series Diamonds, raising the ceiling to $750K, which it currently sits at. Right now, technically, Ohtani could not raise above that. They love it. They absolutely can't get enough of the fact that people are incentivized to perhaps spend money or really play their game to their heart's content just so they can get these couple of cards. And again, every individual person's response or their thoughts is going to be a little bit different. I would say this, if you love the chase, if you really just want to get this done because you see it as that is what to do, go ahead, get it done. You know, I'm not here to stand in the way of your progress or tell you, oh, that's a bad idea, because ultimately, who gives a shit what I think? I'm just saying, I know there's lots of people that feel like that is the only way to go. And I'm just saying maybe consider trying to have fun with the game. If you don't have the time to sit there and grind stadium challenges and Diamond Quest, or if you can't easily beat those challenges, obviously you can still get the cards at lower difficulties, just at a far reduced rate. If you don't want to repeatedly play the threes, the magic number conquest, getting 5-pack bundles, hoping and praying that you're going to pull Shohei Ohtani, maybe just let the cards, let the game come to you. Let the forces that be eventually allow prices to fall, perhaps you pull one of these big cards, which escalates that chase and makes it far more feasible. But I just don't know for a lot of people if it's worth it to restrict yourself to not buy cards that you would want to otherwise, just because you feel every single second you play this game has to be dedicated to making small incremental progress towards one 700,000 stub card. That's not even going to alone get you his own team's collection done, because there's other diamonds that you have to get on top of him, let alone the National League West, which is just one out of 6 divisions in the game that you need to ultimately get Beltran. So a lot of rambling this video. I get it, but kind of just an off-the-cuff press record. I just wanted to talk about it because I thought it was interesting. I see so often in my Twitch chat or in the comment section asking about this exact thing. Is it ultimately worth it to still get Carlos Beltran? I'm going to create a poll here on YouTube asking, do you have Carlos Beltran? Simply put, I would encourage you to vote in that. I'm curious, really, just what the state of affairs is, because it's easy for me to see at a higher rating and ranked seasons that everybody has these cards seemingly. But again, those are the people that can afford it with getting those repeatable rewards in Diamond Quest and in Weekend Classic and World Series and whatnot. I'm curious, just broad spectrum of the community, how many people have Carlos Beltran. So I'll put that up. And again, thank you so much for watching this one. Bit of a different video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it.